Namaste and welcome to this practice where the intention is to choose to expand, expanding through your body in many different directions, expanding through your breath and energizing the body with prana, life force, expanding the mind into possibilities, a sense of newness, taking the place of a beginner's mind and being curious about the outer limits in which you might explore. So let's begin in a seated position and bringing the hands together in Anjali Mudra at the center of the chest. Feel the thumbs resting against the chest and the chest, the breastbone, lifting up to meet those thumbs. The spine lifting out of the hips and rising to the crown of the head. You could even imagine there's magnets above you that the breastbone and the crown are reaching up to meet. And as you brighten your posture, already beginning to notice this sense of expansion from the inside out. Allow for a softness in the abdomen and feel the belly expand as you breathe in. And drawing the navel to the spine as you breathe out. And the breastbone continues to lift, the crown reaching upward, creating this space in the body for the breath to be received. You may like to plant this sankalpa, this seed of intention in your heart, choosing to expand, or perhaps there's another intention you'd like to add and flavor today's practice with. And then as the back of the hands come down towards the legs, breathe in and allow the arms to float up and overhead. Exhaling those hands all the way back down through center. And then moving in the opposite direction. As you breathe in, take the arms up. And exhale, bend the elbows, roll the shoulders back, and the palms meet at the center. So two directions, breathing in, floating the arms up, lifting tall, expanding the body and the breath, exhaling down through center. Inhale, reaching up through the fingertips, perhaps lifting the gaze, and exhale, expanding the arms before landing at the heart. And just allow your breath to move your body in these two directions. And the next time the palms meet at the center, just pausing there, taking a moment to check in with how you're feeling on this day. Move with kindness as you come forward onto the hands and knees and find our cat-cow. Using your breath in to scoop up through the chest and the sit bones. And as you exhale and press into the fingertips, tuck the tail and the chin under. Inhale and lengthen from the navel to the center of the chest. Exhale to round, feel the space in between the shoulder blades. Letting your breath easily move your body, awakening the spine. Feeling the weight spread evenly through the hands. After your next exhalation, find a neutral spine. Press into the shins and lift on up. Take the arms up as you breathe in, palms connect, and exhale the hands down through center. And then in the opposite direction, breathing in, taking the arms up, perhaps look up and exhale, round, feel the space across the chest. Inhale, circle the arms up and down through center as you breathe out. Letting the hands rest at the breastbone, drawing up through the pelvic floor, sending the tailbone down between the knees, and then start to lean back a little here, switching on the core, breastbone continues to lift. And as you find your way back up, circle the arms up, breathing in, palms lightly touch, before planting the hands all the way back down. Curling the toes under, inhale, lift up through the chest. As you exhale round, look into the belly and then take the knees just a couple of centimeters off the mat. Lower the knees, breathe in, lift up through the chest and the sit bones. Exhale round to hover the knees, just keeping them quite low, just above the surface of the floor. Inhale, one last time, and this time, as you bring those knees just a little bit off, we'll hold here. Continuing to breathe, drawing the navel to the spine, bringing some warmth into the body. Taking one last breath in that will lift you all the way up into downward facing dog. You may like to bring a little bit of movement into your dog. Just find a fluidity perhaps, whether it's moving the body or with the breath, just to find ease and recognize the flow of energy that's occurring in your body right now. Before lowering down to the shins, press into the shins, breathing in, take the arms up, palms connect, and exhaling the hands down through center. The reverse direction, breathing in to lift, exhale, and bind at the back as you interlace the fingers, drawing down through the tail, engaging the pelvic floor, leaning back, lifting the breastbone. Circling the arms up as you breathe in, lightly touch overhead, and exhale to bring the hands down. Bring the knees together now into the middle of your mat before taking the right leg back behind you, an extension of the spine as you breathe in, lift a little through that back leg and the chest. Use your next exhale to curl the knee in, round through the upper back. Breathing in, lengthen. Exhale, curling in. Bending through the knuckles, press into the fingertips. Inhale. And exhale. The next time you take that leg back, lift up onto the fingertips so you can bring that right leg around to the front of your mat. Right hand comes to the hip. Inhale and take the left arm up and over, adding this side bend. Steering that right heel in slightly, keeping the knee in line with the ankle. You might even rotate the chest up a little, opening through the chest, the belly. Inhale, take that left arm up, and as you breathe out, float the hand down. You could have a block under this left hand as you lift up the back knee, send the left heel back behind you. Take the right arm forward with the palm facing down. As you breathe in, send that right arm back, tracing that horizontal line. And then coming all the way back through to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach back, maybe look back. And exhale, tracing forward. You might even like to rock the hips back slightly as you take the arm back. And rock the hips forward slightly as you reach forward. Staying active through the extended left leg. And then as you bring that right hand forward, lower down through the left knee. Finding your gate pose, left hand, left knee, and right foot aligned, taking the right arm all the way up. Option to lift that right leg. Option to bend through the knee and reach back and take hold of the foot, opening through the chest. And try not to allow that right arm to do all the work here, but continuing to squeeze the right heel in towards the buttock. Release that right leg with control. Take the right hand down. Find the right side of the body in this plank position, stacking shoulders over wrists, and lift up the left knee just a couple of centimeters off the mat. Send the left leg back, find your full plank, or release to the knees in half plank. Exhale, coming all the way down. Finding Sphinx pose, elbows under the shoulders. Reach back to the toes. And then turn the palms up and reach the thumbs down towards the earth. Feel a broadness across the chest. As you press in a little more to the elbows, feel the spine lift. And feel this activation continue through the back body as you turn the palms down. And imagine dragging the mat back towards you. So the spine now lifts up and forward. One last breath in. Using your exhale, releasing all the way down. Coming up through hands and knees, finding your child's pose, sinking the hips back to the heels. Feel the breath expanding from the belly, the ribs outward. The breath reaching into the upper back. Use your next breath in to come forward, bringing the knees together in the middle of your mat before we take the left leg back. And just being mindful of not opening that left hip as you extend the leg back, but dropping the outer left hip and activating it through the glutes. Breathe in, lift the leg, lift the chest. Exhale to curl in. Pressing into the hands will give you a little more space to draw the knee in. Create that opening between the shoulder blades. Allow that steady rhythmic breath to guide the body. The next time the leg is reaching back behind you, come onto the fingertips. Step the left leg to the front of the mat. Left hand to hip. Inhale the right arm up. Scissoring the legs towards each other, creating that stability. And opening through the right side. Maybe starting to pivot the center of the chest upward. So if you were to be sinking in the hips right now, it makes it very difficult for the spine to lift. And we like the spine to twist from the mid-range, the thoracic and upper. So staying strong with the legs is going to help that. You can bring that right hand down now. You might even be on a fist or fingertips. Lift up through the back leg and send that right heel back. Take the left arm forward, palm facing down. Inhale, trace that horizontal line back behind you. Maybe rock back slightly. Exhale, coming forward. With your breath. As the left hand comes down, bring the right knee down. Right hand, right knee, left foot. I'll give you this reverse view here as well. So you might press down into the left little toe as you extend the left arm. You might prefer to take the left leg parallel to the floor, or perhaps reaching back and taking hold. There's a shared effort between the leg and the arm as they bind. And as you extend that left leg back, find the left side of your body in this plank shape. Right hand comes down, shoulders over the wrist, lift up through the right knee, just a couple of centimeters. Stepping the right leg back, inhale forward and exhale to release. As we take a break from our hands again, reach back and find Shalabhasana. Breathing in, rise up, bend through the elbows and knees. Lifting the thighs off the mat. Using your next exhale to release all the way down. With control, coming up through hands and knees. Finding your way into downward facing dog. Feeling into the breath moving in. Feeling the breath moving out. As you press a little more into the index finger knuckle, feel the inner biceps rolling forward. Continuing to allow space through the upper back. Use your next inhale to glide the right leg up into the space behind you. Lifting up onto the ball of the left foot, feel the hips lift. As you exhale, step the foot forward, in between the hands, finding your high lunge. Bending through the front knee. Also take a bend through the back knee. As you take the arms up, find the steady gaze in front of you. Breathing in, reach to the fingertips. As you exhale, lower the back knee just to hover above the mat. As you breathe in, straighten the back leg only, not the front leg. Exhale to lower. Inhale, pulsing back up. Keeping this bend through the front leg, trying to find that parallel thigh with the right leg. Great way to warm up as we use these big, strong leg muscles of the body. The next time the knee makes its way down, you can lower it all the way down. Bring the hands to frame the front foot. Step your way back into three-legged dog. Right leg lifts to the space behind you. Take a tiger curl. Exhale. Knee in towards the nose. Shoulders over the wrists. Inhale. Extend. Curling in with control. One last time. Reaching the leg up. Hips lift. Stepping the foot forward in between the hands. Returning to your high lunge. Turn the palms away to the back of your mat. As you breathe in, look up. Draw the chest forward, send the palms back. Exhale, floating the arms back alongside the ears. Inhale. And exhale. Spine is long. As you bring the chest down, lower the hands down on either side of that front foot. We're bringing the left knee to tap the right calf as you inhale, and then sending it back as you exhale, returning to that runner's lunge. Inhale, hop forward, tap, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And just two more like that. Warming up the legs. Reaching all the way back before bringing the left knee down to the floor. Pick up the front toes, breathing in, send the right hip back. Exhale to lunge. Inhale. And exhale. Lifting up the toes. We're pausing here. Left hand grounded down. Right arm reaches forward, tracing that horizontal line as you breathe in and exhale. Stay a little heavy through that right hip. You might be following the fingertips with your gaze. Taking the right arm back just once more before sending it all the way up to 12 o'clock and then circling it down. Inhale, you're lunging as you take the arms up, palms connect, twisting over to the right as you exhale. elbow to the outside of the right knee, or you have the option of bringing the back of the left hand here as well. So whichever choice you make, continue to lift up the belly, the torso, the shoulders and the head. Option to lift the back knee. Framing the front foot and finding your way into plank. From plank, side plank, over to the left. Left hand, left foot, you might stack the feet or have one foot in front of the other, reaching the right arm up and then taking it to the front of your mat, creating a side bend through the top of the body. Circle the arm all the way down, find your way into plank as you breathe in, exhale to release. One breath, Shalabhasana. Exhale, grounding. Coming up through hands and knees. Child's pose. You might find space here in child's pose to take the knees a little wider. Create space for the belly in between the thighs. Allow the front body to soften. Connect with the breath. These last 3 breaths, you might count from 3 to 1 as you release from the body. Noticing the way in which you're expanding your body, your breath, your mind. As you find your way onto hands and knees, setting up the hands to find your downward facing dog. And as well as rotating those biceps forward, you might even start to rotate the inner thighs back a little here. Use your next breath in to send the left leg up into the air, rising up onto the ball of the right foot. Exhale, step the foot forward, high lunge. Steering the right hip forward, left hip back, bending through both knees. Inhale, reach to the fingertips. As you exhale, lower the right knee to hover. Breathe in, straighten the right leg only. Exhale to hover. And of course, you could take any other arm variation here that supports you as you find balance and stability. Soften the gaze. The next time the right knee comes down, you can gently land it all the way to the mat. Bring the hands out in front. Find your 3-legged dog, left leg to the air. Tiger curl, exhale. Inhale, extend. Curling in as you breathe out. Inhale, lift. Stepping the foot forward. High lunge. Taking the arms up, turning the palms away from you. Drawing the chest forward. Lengthen through the spine. And then reaching up, staying bent through that front leg. Inhale. And exhale. As you bring the torso down towards the front leg, bring the hands to touch. Take a breath in, bring the right knee to the left calf, and then send the right leg back. Inhale, hop forward. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Just 2 more. As As you send that right leg back, bring the right knee down, pick up the left toes and stretch it out nicely here. Sending the left hip back. Exhale, lunging forward, lifting the chest. And just rocking it out here, washing it out, sending the left hip back a little more. Notice where you sense that quality of expansion in the body. And as you start to straighten that left leg again, come onto the right hand. Take the left arm forward, palm facing down. Breathe in and reach all the way back. Exhale forward. Notice the heaviness through that left hip. Rotation through the spine as you take that left arm back just one more time, reaching it up to 12 o'clock, bending through the left knee, landing the hand, picking the arms up, palms connect, exhale, twisting over to your left. As you bind with the right elbow or the back of the hand, lift the belly, the ribs, the chest away from the front leg, maybe lift up through the back knee. Gazing over that left elbow, reaching the breastbone towards the thumbs. Finding your way into plank. Side plank, right hand, right foot, left arm reaches. Perhaps all the way to the front of your mat. Feel the resistance. The bottom hip reaching away from the floor. As you return to plank, find your way to downward dog, child's pose, or the connecting vinyasa. Plank, exhale, release. You might like Sphinx, Locust, or Cobra as you take a breath in. Coming all the way down. Finding your way into down dog. 3 breaths here. Feel into those points of contact. Notice the energy the earth supports and provides you. Bending the knees a little deeper, begin to walk the hands back towards the feet so you're coming to the back of your mat. Take the hands to the shins, knees are off lock here as you breathe in, lift the chest halfway. Exhale to fold. And again, inhale, lift, spine fluid. Exhale, maybe bend the knees a little deeper now. Sit the hips low and take a spinal roll, stacking the spine slowly as the chin stays tucked to the chest. Finding your way upright. Micro bend through the knees and the elbows. Feel those magnets above you that you're eagerly reaching towards. Or perhaps magnets all around you that you're willing to expand outward to meet. And if the eyes aren't already open, you can begin to open the eyes. Send a little more weight now into the left leg. Spread the toes, ground down through that whole left foot. As you begin to bring the right knee in towards the chest. So as you hug the knee in, feel the core working here, feel the leg working. And even as you place the right hand onto that knee, again, mutual relationship here, mutual effort. You might like to take the left arm up to help with balance. Start to open that knee out to the side, pointing into the toes, whole leg active. Hips are facing towards the front of your mat. And then as you bring that knee back through center, you might be able to let go of the knee again for a moment. Bending through the left leg, step the right foot forward. We're here in warrior one. So a much shorter stance. The whole back foot is engaged into the floor. Toes are pointing to the front of your mat. Bend through the front knee. As you take the arms down, turn the palms forward. Breathe in to lift. As you exhale, draw the belly and the chest down towards that bent knee, bent leg, top thigh. Inhale, lift. Front leg stays bent. Exhale, coming all the way down, lying the ribs down onto that thigh. Inhale. And exhale. As you come down this time, feel the weight of the head heavy. Bring the hands down alongside you, lift up through the back leg and find this swan dive. Left leg is lifting higher than the hips. You could take the hands off the floor if you like here, or you could have them grounded. Keep the head low. Active through that top leg, top foot. As you bring the hands back down to touch, bring that left knee to the outside of the right calf this time and land that knee all the way down. So your right leg is crossed over the top. Wrap the left arm around, take the right hand behind, and before you twist, just soften here for a moment. Let the shoulders become heavy, round through the spine, drop the head. And could you feel a heaviness through that right out hip? Feel the sit bones being drawn down to the floor. Lifting up through the head, the spine, pressing in a little more to that backhand. Breathing in, take the left arm up. Elbow comes to the outside of the knee, or continue to wrap the arm around behind you. Draw the navel to spine, belly in, ribs around. Press a little more into that right foot. And as you release head and shoulders back through center, step that right foot now to the other side of that bent leg. So you're just touching here at the left shin. As you come onto the hands behind you, you might like to just lift in this way. If it's in your practice to take that left leg behind you and come onto the shin, you could be on palms, fists or fingertips and get just a little more of a quad stretch here. Looking forward or up towards the sky. And as you lower the hips all the way down, go on and step forward and find your way into down dog. Here in your down dog, come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees generously. Bring the hips over to the left, knees to the right. Inhale back through center and exhale to the other side. Just once more on each side. And as you find your way back, centered, knees are bent and walking the hands back towards the feet, coming to the back of the mat. Slide the hands to the shins. Inhale, let the chest come halfway, spine fluid, knees bent. Exhale, fold. And just let this be a rippling movement from the heels through the backs of the legs, spine to the back of the neck. Just once more. Bend the knees, sit into that imaginary chair, press into the feet, rolling the spine up slowly, slowly. Bring the hands to meet, breastbone reaching up towards those thumbs. Sense the space in between those breaths. Feel the energy within your body. And sometimes the mind can skip out a little when you know what's coming on the second side. So vow to stay really present and continue exploring your body as you send weight now into the right leg. Start with a bend through the right knee, drawing up pelvic floor, navel to spine, left knee in towards the chest, pointing the toes, or it might be better for you to flex the foot, but stay active through this whole leg. You could hold on to that knee a little lightly, sending the knee wide as you continue to draw those hips forward. With control, no hurry, bringing the knee back to center, bending through the right leg, step the left foot forward, warrior one. So the whole back foot is grounded, whole front foot is grounded, front knee is bent. Turn the palms forward, inhale to lift. Lay the ribs down on that front thigh as you exhale. Inhale. Spread the weight evenly between both legs. Notice how gravity is drawing down the weight of your head. So as we lay those ribs down, lengthening the spine towards the earth, bring the hands down onto the mat, sending the right leg up higher than the hips. Continue to draw the torso towards that standing leg. Maybe take the arms up. Active all the way to the tips of the toes on that elevated foot. And then we're bringing that right knee down to the outside of that left calf and landing the shin all the way down. Wrap the right arm around, bring the left hand behind you, lift up a little first and then soften. Head, shoulders round. Release the buttocks, dropping the left hip. Feel into a gentle stretch there through the outer left hip, simply by releasing to gravity's gentle pull. As you press into that left hand, press into the left foot a little more, breathe in, spine comes up and then rotating around. Feeling the lower ribs, moving around to the side, upper ribs. As you bring the head back to center, that front foot steps over towards the right calf now. Bring the hands behind you. Keep the knee out to the side if you like, or roll the foot behind you, come more onto the right shin, lifting up, drawing the hips forward and up. Releasing the hips all the way down. Step that left foot forward a little more so that you can frame that front foot and find your way to downward facing dog. You might like to move a little here, or perhaps stillness is calling to you. Use your next breath in to send the right leg up into the space behind you, and then stack that right hip on top of the left as you bend through the right knee. Draw that left heel in towards the middle of your mat just a little and look up under the right armpit. Notice if that left armpit is collapsing, or you could stay evenly engaged through both hands, arms, shoulders. bringing that right shin across the mat, finding your way into pigeon pose. We'll start with a more active pigeon, keeping the back toes curled under. Press into that right shin. Draw the legs towards each other. You might be on fingertips here as you lift the spine up. If that's okay for you, you could even bring the arms overhead and take a pistol grip, interlacing all of the fingers apart from the first finger and thumb. Taking one last breath in, rise up. And then as you breathe out, soften the buttocks, the thighs, the arms can float down and support the head or the upper body as needed. And just when you think that perhaps the body has relaxed, you might be able to sense that there could be a little softening through the fingers and the toes. The muscles of the legs could switch off just a little more here. Notice if there's any holding through the muscles of the face or the abdomen. And enjoying these last two soft, calming breaths here. Lifting up through the upper body so you can just roll out to that right side and take the right leg behind you. Here on the hands and knees, just begin to find some circles through the hips. Moving in both directions. And then keeping the hips stacked over the knees, curl the toes under and go on and find your melting heart or puppy pose. Sliding the arms away, bringing the forehead down to the mat, sinking the shoulders down. If it's in your practice to tuck the chin and lower the chest all the way down, you could do that. To release, you can either slide the legs back behind you, depending on how deep you've gone, or lifting all the way up, returning to the hands and knees. Stretching it out into your downward facing dog, and noticing that you might actually find a little more length through the back body if you bend the knees deeply and draw the belly towards the thighs. Then begin to send the left leg up into the air. Stacking the left hip, finding your twisted dog, right heel reaches in towards the middle of your mat, just so slightly. Active through both arms. Feel a buoyancy under both armpits. Notice where you could invite the next breath into your body. And then bringing that left shin across, left knee towards the wrist and finding the center of the right leg, keeping the toes curled under, drawing those legs inward. So you'll sense it pressing in a little more through that left shin. You might lift a little higher onto fingertips or take the arms up overhead. Notice all this room that's available for you. Belly expands, sense the ribs moving outward and taking that in, enjoying those breaths. One last breath here. And exhaling, soften through the legs. Notice the spine heavy, relaxing all of the muscles supporting. Release the head to the earth. Scanning through your body and continuing to find more and more ease. tension go there first. And then allow yourself to explore where else you might be habitually holding on unnecessarily. And use these last 4 breaths now to let it go. Let it all go, all the effort. Let it go. And after that final breath, you can begin to come up and lean over to that left side to release, and have those feet out to the edges of your mat as you lean back into those hands in beach pose, and just imagine that you're resting there on the soft sand, letting those knees rock from side to side, taking in the warmth of the sunshine. You might imagine you can hear the sound of the ocean. You might imagine that the sound of the ocean sounds very much like your own breath as you lower down to the elbows, perhaps turning the head in the opposite direction of the knees. Until you find your way down onto your back and the arms extended out to the sides like a T. Then you notice that as the movement begins to slow down, the breath is slowing right down. And it feels nice to sense the body cooling. It feels nice to know that you'll be coming to pause very soon. So as you bring the knees back through center, just let them rest against or towards one another for a moment. And then begin to extend their legs out to the far corners of your mat. And find that comfortable distance for your arms to rest alongside the body. Or perhaps you're placing the hands somewhere on your body. And your mind can easily notice the very soft, relaxed belly, rising and falling as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And for the next few moments, simply witness the gentle movement of the abdomen. Notice the gentle, calm breath. And continuing to find this ease within the breath. Notice how at the top of the inhalation, it's very easy for you to just pause here before you need to breathe out. And also notice that at the bottom of your exhalations, there's that moment of space where you're in no hurry, just before you need to breathe in. Sense the very natural rhythm of your breath, Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. The breath continues all on its own. It's all just happening there in the background. You notice that the mind relaxes even more. Your mind can take this leisurely journey throughout your body, simply noticing your whole right hand relaxed, fingers soft, and the whole right arm heavy, relaxed, all the way to the shoulder. And the whole right side of your body down to the hip. And you feel the softening of the right thigh and all around the knee, lower leg, ankle, and the whole right foot and all of the toes. The whole right side of the body is deeply relaxed. The mind is in no hurry. You simply bring your attention over to the left hand and all of the fingers soft. The whole left arm heavy, relaxed, and shoulder. And side of the body down to the hip. And softness through the left thigh and around the knee, lower leg, ankle, and the whole left foot and toes. And the breath moves with ease through both sides of the body, the whole body. You feel a connection where the heels touch down, and the backs of the legs. The buttocks soften, lower back relaxed, the middle back, the upper back. And as the whole back of the body relaxes, you sense the heavy, heavy spine. All the way up to the very heavy, heavy head. And as you allow the head to be heavy, the neck relaxes all around. You feel space between the back teeth, lips, light. And as all the tiny muscles around the eyes relax now, a warm sense of relaxation washes over your entire body, from the crown of the head, moving down this warm feeling of relaxation through the body, through the body. Just as you feel this relaxation moving through the body, there's this great sense of easeful expansion from the inside out as you surrender into this moment to simply be. You sense the mind's willingness to explore space between thoughts, savoring the silence, the non-doing between it all. And soon, but not quite yet, it will be time to make your way back into your day. But for now, notice within your body a feeling of lightness, space. You may sense it as a color, a feeling, a vision, or it may just bring a soft smile to your lips, allowing yourself this moment, these final moments now, just to feel really good within your body, your mind, your whole self. Let that smile form on your lips and know this feeling of joy, gratitude, love overflows as you fill your own cup. This practice that you'll take with you, these insights and wisdoms, will touch many others that you come into contact with in this day or future days. An opportunity to take these final 3 breaths just to shift any other heavy energy or anything that you feel is lingering and no longer serving you. And this can be really nice to do through an open mouth. And taking a long breath in through the nose and sighing the breath out. And you can make this a soft sigh or a more audible breath. Inhale. And as you take one last breath out like this, feel your whole body cleansed, renewed, re-energized. You may begin to skim the thumb over the fingertips now, moving the toes and awakening the physical body in any way that you're called to. And Eventually finding your way to one side of your mat, and pause there for a moment in cuddle pose. Give yourself a little cuddle. Love, gratitude for yourself. Taking the courage to step away from this day and carve out this time, this invaluable time for yourself. And as you find your way to your seat, you might like to continue on with a breath practice or a meditation practice. Journaling is a nice task to also do after you've practiced, particularly with this intention of expanding maybe an idea that you've had simmering or a decision you've been sitting on. Maybe there's a little more clarity there for you. And I wish you well as you move forward. Namaste.